Good morning, my dear children. Today we will start a poem, Four Little Foxes, written by Lewis Sarratt. So, before starting, let's know about the poet. Lewis Sarratt was an American author, lecturer, and poet. He spent years as a woodsman and a forest ranger, which influenced his nature poems. A speech professor at Northwestern University, he spent part of his year working outdoors in Canada. His first book of poems, Many Many Moons, was published in 1920. Sarratt's nature poetry, influenced by years of working as park ranger and as a forest guide. As I told you, he was influenced by nature, so his poem Four Little Foxes also deals with nature. Usually in literature, children, you see spring defined as a beautiful season, okay? But here in this poem, poet defines a spring season as very brutal, and he requests the season to blow softly and not to be very harsh on the creatures. So now I will read the poem for you. Pay attention to the pronunciation. Speak gently, spring, and make no sudden sound. For in my windy valley, yesterday I found newborn foxes squirming on the ground. Speak gently. Walk softly, March, forbear the bitter blow. Her feet within a trap, her blood upon the snow. The four little foxes saw their mother go. Walk softly. Go lightly, spring. Oh, give them no alarm. When I covered them with boughs to shelter them from harm, the thin blue foxes suckled at my arm. Go lightly. Step softly, March, with your rampant hurricane, nuzzling one another and whimpering with pain. The new little foxes are shivering in the rain. Step softly. Let's see the explanation of the poem. The first paragraph: Speak gently, spring, and make no sudden sound, for in my windy valley yesterday I found newborn foxes squirming on the ground. Speak gently. So, here the speaker in the poem pleads with early spring to come gently without making much noise. For the previous day, he had found four newborn fox cubs, and these newborn foxes squirmed on the ground. Squirm means twisting. They twisted their body in such a way because they were uncomfortable because of the chilly wind. As you can see in the picture also, all the foxes are sitting together, they are squirmed, they are wriggled, right? The poet felt so bad for these cubs that he requested a spring to make no sudden sound. That means to be gentle. To be gentle so that this season, spring season, doesn't cause pain for any creature on the earth. Now let's see the next paragraph. Walk softly, March, forbear the bitter blow. Her feet within a trap, her blood upon the snow. The four little foxes saw their mother go. Walk softly. Now, this is very painful. Here, he begs the cold March winds to blow softly, for the cubs had watched their mother die. Her feet caught in a trap, and her blood splattered on the ground. So he is requesting the March season, cold, harsh, biting winds to walk softly. Walk softly here means to blow softly. Once again, listen carefully. Here in this paragraph, he is asking spring, walk softly as it blows through the valley for he had seen 4 fox cubs huddled together, hungry, frightened, and shivering. They had seen their mother, blood splattered and dying with her feet caught in a trap. See the next paragraph. Go lightly, Spring. Oh, give them no alarm. When I covered them with boughs to shelter them from harm, the 10 blue foxes suckled at my arm. Go lightly. The poet is telling the spring to tread softly and not to scare the babies. Give them no alarm means not to scare the babies. They were blue with cold and starving, because how do we come to know that the foxes were starving? They were hungry because they were thin blue foxes. The foxes are weak and thin because they have not eaten, as you know that the mother died. And they are described as blue because they are very cold and have no protection from the frost and storms. So he is requesting the spring season to tread softly and not to scare the babies because they were blue with cold and starving. And boughs means the branches of tree. So when he saw them shivering and blue with cold and starving, what he did, he covered them with branches of trees to warm them. And when he did this, they had suckled his hands. What does it mean? That they thought that these arms are of their mother, and because they were so hungry, they thought it's of their mother, so they suckled it to get some milk. Step softly, march with your rampant hurricane, nuzzling one another and whimpering with pain. The new little foxes are shivering in the rain. Step softly. So, in this last paragraph, the poet requests March to tread softly with its wildest storms, because the baby foxes cuddling up to one another, shivering and whining in the sleet. Now, see here in this poem, the poet is addressing to onset of spring. March is a still cold and snowy with heavy winds and sleet. It is a windy valley where this poet lives. And the poet asks early spring to be gentle as it blows through the valley, because he had seen 4 fox cubs huddled together, hungry, frightened, and shivering. They had seen their mother, blood splattered and dying with her feet caught in a trap. He has covered them with branches to keep them warm, and is now requesting the spring to come softly. Now he plead with nature because humans are supposed to have feelings of nurturing, but since one of them has brought this on, the speaker pleads with nature to protect the babies. Humans are meant to protect the nature, right? But few of us, we are very cruel. Few of us are very cruel. So what they do, they harm the different species and nature. So the poet is requesting nature to protect the babies. Now, usually spring is heralded with joy as the season of rebirth, but here it is a sad season of death for the mother fox and probably for the babies too. The speaker is a kind person concerned about the cubs in the wild, and he would have been very upset when they suckled on his hand, thinking that it was their mother's death. Now you can notice the difference here between the poet and the person who put that trap there to catch animals. The poet is kind and gentle, and the person who put the trap was cruel. Now let's see the poetic devices used in this poem. First, you will see visual imagery. Now, underline the lines that I am going to read. First is windy valley. Next, her feet within a trap, her blood upon the snow. I covered them with boughs to shelter them. The thin blue foxes suckled at my arm. New little foxes are shivering in the rain. When I'm reading these lines, you are getting a visual imagery. You can easily imagine what is going on in the poem. Now, sound patterns, repetitions you can see. Speak gently, walk softly, go lightly, step softly. Here, the speaker's voice softening perhaps to a whisper at the end of each verse. You can see the repetition of the words here. Then the rhyme scheme will say sound, found, ground, blow, snow, go. Then alarm, harm, arm, hurricane, pain, rain, gently, softly, lightly are the rhyming words in the poem. Now we'll see alliteration, sudden sound, windy valley, bitter blow, step softly, whimpering with. These are alliteration. Now which figure of speech is used in the poem? Apostrophe. Now I'll tell you what is apostrophe. Whenever poet talks to someone who is not at all present there, like here, wind, the poet is talking to spring season, March month, right? So, do you think that someone can really talk to spring season or March? No, no one can do that. So, it is inanimate object that is personified, okay, that is being treated as human with human quality, and the poet is talking directly to the month of March, to the spring season. He is directly talking to this season, thinking that it's a human. So this is called apostrophe. Which figure of speech is used in this poem? Apostrophe. Why? Because the poet, the speaker, is addressing spring directly. Children, all of God's creatures have rights, a fact that most don't seem to recognize. This includes both human and non human. But not all of them can speak for themselves. Have you ever seen any animal speaking for the violence against them? No. I'm sure many of us have seen people hitting animals on the road, the stray animals. Very easily they hit them. Have you seen any animal turning back and asking, why are you hitting me? How can you hit me? No, because they don't speak for themselves. Whereas if you hit any man on the road, definitely that man will also hit you back, or will ask you, will involve himself in an equal level of fight with you. So, not all the creatures of God speak for themselves, but God has given equal right to every living being. So think deeply. Have you seen any incident of cruelty to animals? Were you able to do something to help the victim? How did you help, or how could you not help? And what does our concern for stray animals say about us? When you care for stray animals, what does it tell about you? So I want to know all this. Share your story here in the comment box and let me see how many of you really care for animals. I hope you have understood the poem well. If there is any doubt, anything that's not clear to you, please feel free to ask. Thank you.